Rashawn, how's it going?
Going on.
Is your mum gonna attend separately? Is she coming on board with you, or what's
Yeah, she's coming on board, but she just wasn't really aware of the fact that it was gonna be like a testimonial kind of thing.
all right?
Yeah.
And what does that mean?
It means that she's getting ready right now.
As in she's just
Yeah, just like fixing herself up real quick.
okay, no issues, no issues. Yeah, how? I mean, yeah, like obviously massive, massive win. Like how? Because were you both on the call? Were just you on the call, or what was?
Yeah, we were both on the call. I think a few days before or the day before, he was very interested, but the price that we initially pitched to him wasn't really sitting well with him because of the fact that we were a little bit newer. So he wanted to see, some case studies and stuff like that. So we decided to, go back down to what we initially were gonna actually offer him, which was the 5,900. And then he said yes to that the next day. Because we were like, it's man, it's still kind of crazy to imagine because, or not imagine, but think about really because it did happen. Um, but yeah, I mean, it's a little bit fuzzy now because my mind was racing at like a billion miles an hour because it's like the first client that we actually got on board to pay us, and we're helping him right now. So it's kind of insane to think about, but I mean, yeah, we got on a call with him. We explained the process, explained how we're gonna build everything out for him, and he sounded very interested in what we had to offer, and he was 100% ready to go once we were willing to bring the price down, and we are actually able to close him on the phone.
Nice, 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 nice. Amazing, man. Amazing job. Amazing, amazing. How long is your mom gonna take? Like long, or just
No,
so
no,
that I
no.
know how to?
Just a few minutes. I would say just like 5 more minutes tops.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. I mean, I still would. All right. Well, we'll see. Because obviously, I would like to, just use the time effectively. Um.
Yeah, I apologize. She for her, she was doing something earlier this morning and she didn't really, notice the time that it was at 10. But because I get the alerts on my phone. So
Yeah. You need to teach her that.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Cool. Yeah, because I just don't want to like give you anything that I'll maybe have to repeat to your mum as well, and she may have
Yeah.
questions on your next steps for sure. Um, Again, just briefly, it does come down to next steps for you. You obviously you oh, is that
Yeah, she's here now.
cool, cool.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
I am very well, thank you. Rima and Rashawn Lee in the house. How are we feeling? Amazing. Tell me about with your own words. Tell me about the massive win, $5,900 client, first client. How's that feeling? Tell me about
Um, Good question. Feeling a little surreal, a little yeah, mostly surreal, exciting. We know we have the potential to do much more. But for now, it's exciting.
that. Amazing, amazing. Rashawn was just saying earlier on that your like mind was just like at a million, just like yes, crazy, crazy,
One
crazy,
one hundred
amazing.
percent. 100%. Why is it going back and forth like that?
The blur.
Take off the background. Yeah, sorry.
It's okay. Yeah. What's where like explain to me a bit more just about where were you then before joining COA?
Okay. Before joining COA, basically we were on the journey. We're on the journey for building our agency, right? We started, I started about 2020. I don't know if this matters, but to give you a little history, I started about 2020. August of 2020, I started looking into this new venture, right? Because as I had mentioned to you, I'm into my concurrent profession is that I'm a real estate broker. And I've been a broker since 2010, but in the real estate business since 1999, since 1999. So I think what, 25 years that now? 23, 24, going on 24 years. Did the mortgages as well. Did that for about 12 years, but very versed in both fields, let's put it that way. And just to give you the background as to what led me there, my mom got sick. My mom got ill. And due to the traveling back and forth and having to deal with certain things, I had to put my business sort of on hold. And when I did put my business on hold, it's kind of like, you know, if you're not closing, right? If you don't have clients in your pipeline, you know, basically you become one that closes, it's done, basically, you know. So when everything is going fine, it's fine. But once something interrupts that, it wasn't, you know, set up in play to continue, because I was just working with myself pretty much, but a small team as doing some of the everyday task things, you know, follow up the transactions and do certain due diligence and so forth. So that's pretty much kind of like, I'm like, okay, something's got to change. I can't be not present in the office. And because I'm not present, I stop making money, you know? So I said, I need to be able to have something, no matter where I'm at, no matter what I'm doing, I can be able to provide value and keep the money coming in. You know what I mean? So, and I realized that the key to all businesses, you know, through my research and so forth, I came across some information and I started putting it together. I'm like, what I'm missing is marketing, because a lot of my businesses was just word of mouth. You know, I really never marketed. I never had the need per se, because like I said, once everything is going good, it's going good. So that's kind of like took me on that venture, you know, and then I started, you know, started in different courses and started educating myself in that space. And then, you know, the more you do it, you're like, oh, I'm the type of person, I don't like to do something unless I feel I can really do it well. You know what I mean? It's kind of like a kryptonite. It's a good thing, but can be kind of crippling sometimes, you know. So I started learning, I learned a lot, started understanding the jargons and so forth, but still I realized like, wow, there's so much more to be learned. And then, you know, as we progress, we come across different things. And then when I saw Ed's advertisement, that was kind of where my headspace was, you know, because I was thinking, this is fantastic. How many people in my field need to know this, that I know I could help. And not only that, this can also help my business, because the webinar setting, you can educate your buyers, you can educate your sellers. And by the time they come to us, you know, we're ready to, you know, you don't have to defend anything. You don't have to try to sell anything, you know, and that's what took me to that space, if that makes sense.
Yes, yes, no, absolutely, absolutely. So that's amazing, an amazing journey for sure. And you know, what for you, what have you enjoyed the most about COA? And you know, like some people say, you know, it's the systems, or some people say it's the ads, the closer process, or just maybe the awesome support that you get. What have you enjoyed most?
You want to go first, or you want me to?
Sure. Excuse me. I believe that I would say the entire process and how simplified it was. You know, in this space of marketing for our business, it can get pretty complicated pretty quickly. And that can happen because there's so many people telling you so many different things. Especially when it comes to closing, you know, your clients or potential clients. And they give you like a whole list of things that you should be talking about. But when we, you know, joined COA, we actually went through the closer process and the closer consultation and closer psychology and stuff like that. You know, it really opened us up to, you know, how our potential clients are thinking and how we can help them to understand their pains and why what we have to offer will resolve their pains and give them pleasure, both short and long term, for themselves and their business.
Amazing,
Yeah.
amazing. Rima,
Same,
anything
same.
to add?
Yeah, well, pretty much similar to Rashawn. I like the simplified process, and um, it's you realize, like I said before, marketing is everything. It's like the lifeblood, I think, outside of the clients of a business, right? Because if you understand marketing, you'll never be out of clients, and that
Mm,
goes to
mm,
be with understanding the process, the closer process, the clarification, like the
yeah.
acronym that is
Mhm,
provided, the psychology behind it, understanding that people run away from pain more than wanting to seek pleasure.
mm,
So,
mm,
and once you just started clicking, wow, boom, 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 started making sense. So we started just working on our presentation and our pitch and refining it. And because I know the pains, being in the field,
yes, yes,
you
yes.
know, I was able to, we were able to work it out together and write it down, and then also to see, okay, this is what the problem is, and yeah, this is also the solution, and so forth. So when we were able to speak with like this particular person that we spoke with, and it's so funny, we out of these, we have a few in the pipeline that we're working with that we need to follow up on as well. But none of them have said no. So we
Mm.
knew we were on the right track, and then it was like put off to a second call, right?
Yeah.
It's like with a carrot, on the donkey and the
Yeah, yeah,
carrot
yeah.
stick, yeah.
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
So they didn't, all three of them we spoke to, and they're high producing producers, they're making a couple of $100,000 per year, I mean, like 250 and above, you
Mm,
know.
mm,
So, and I'm like, and they were from my warm market, lenders that I've dealt with and lenders that I know. And when I reached out to them and so forth, and to see, we followed the steps that, the system told us. And they did download the the HVG.
HVG, yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm,
they
mhm.
downloaded it because it shows us in the back end. Can't get back into the active campaign. I need some help with that, but that's a different story. Trying to locate that, but they did go in and were like, wow, they downloaded it, and they reached out to one of them, set up an appointment. We have to follow up with him, but as well. But Lewis was one of them on my list from my warm market, and like I said, they didn't say no. So we realized that we were hitting the right notes, but we still needed to refine the closing.
Mhm,
And one of the big problems, because like Ed talks about, in the course, knock out the objections, right? The goal is
mhm.
to knock out the objections. So I started going through and I'm like, you know what? One of the biggest thing is we don't have any testimonials, because they wanted to know about if there's anyone else that we have helped and so forth. Even though they know me and they know how I work. I mean, like they told my son, they know that the kind of person I am and how I work and how
Yeah.
respected I am in the business. But as far as this field, do we have any testimonials? We didn't have any testimonials, right?
Mm,
That was the biggest thing. I'm like, I wonder if we can ask COA, not for them, not for to use our testimony, your testimonial as ours, but like, well, here are people they have helped, and they're using the same system that we're going to be using for you, But anyway, so
regardless,
anyway,
it got you the sale. It got you your first sale at 5,900, which is amazing, 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 crazy, absolutely crazy, right? First client you offer, okay, 5,900. Honestly, awesome work, guys. Awesome work. Um, what would you tell someone who wanted to join in on COA?
great program,
Great.
great program. It really teaches you the background understanding of how to sell.
Yeah, I would also say, come in with an open mind, and come in ready to learn, new things, because there were a lot of things that I thought I knew well, or I thought that would work, when talking to the clients, when setting everything up. But once, we went through the program and, we saw how, to properly close people, how to actually connect with them on a personal level and stuff like that, we were actually able to see much better results than if, we were to stick to how we did it before. So, don't be afraid to, try new things that you learn, to learn new things, and to actually go forward with it and implement it into your business. Because what I've even seen personally from, learning from COA is that it kind of leaks over into my personal life as well. When I'm talking to people, now I'm actively listening. Now I'm, asking questions about what they just said, and it actually leads to a much better conversation. So, learning, properly and effectively what Ed has to offer in the program, can not only help your business tremendously, but also, how you communicate with people on a daily basis.
Right. Amazing, amazing, amazing. So look, guys, like just thank you for being here. Thank you for, working with us and allowing us to be a part of this journey for you. So obviously this is your first client, 5900, many more to come, no doubt. Okay, so let's go crush it. Really looking forward to the rest of your journey with us. So let's do it.
Yes,
Right.
looking forward to that myself.
Amazing, amazing, amazing. Right. In terms of next steps, right? The important thing for you, as I said, is because obviously with what we have now, that's a validation of the offer. Okay. Amazing. And again, that's no testimonials, right? You have done it before, and that's okay. Like you still validated the offer because again, we talked about this. It's a value exchange of when they know how much they're getting back. 5900 is it's just a dime, right? It's just like they just need to be sure that it works. That's all they really need,
Exactly,
right?
exactly,
So as you
exactly.
build testimonials, look, your prices will get stronger. Honestly, they are generating that much, and you can relate to how much they can get back from it. There's no reason why you can't go beyond 10K. We're talking about 15, 20. There's no reason why not. Again, as long as it's a validated offer in which you've tested it, testimonials, you've gotten the result various times, and it's just like, wow, like they'll always understand this is totally worth it. So amazing, amazing job. Where are we in terms of our, because obviously this using your email list, right? But in terms of turning on the ad itself, um, where are we at with that?
We have the ad. We had a spokesperson do an ad for us. We gave him the script based off of
Okay.
what it showed. So I think it was very good, but after going through this and getting this new client, I see that we're gonna have to refine it further, but I think it's good enough to put out there to test it, to
Yeah.
see how once we turn it on. So
Uh-huh.
it's kind of like at that step, okay, all right, we're here now. What do I need to do and to get that part implemented?
Okay, cool. The important thing is, as I said, as long as you follow our structures
Mm-hmm.
and it's a simple message, okay, meaning again, the title of HG, as long as that's clear, it's always going to work, as long as the targeting is also appropriate for it. Okay. So as long as whoever you've hired has done that to just follow our
Yes,
script. Yes.
yes, that was the same. It was the script that from
Cool.
COA we used.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's the same order, like the call out, it was the same anatomy that we
Yeah.
used. They
Cool.
just I just didn't feel like comfortable enough yet to speak it for myself.
Yeah.
So I'm working
That's
on
not so how's the form? Is it a picture ad
no,
or
it's a video ad. You want to find it? I don't know if you want to see it.
did you post this in the group?
Did you post it in the group?
No.
Okay, post this
Okay.
in the group just so that we can have a look and be like, yeah,
Right.
no, or oh my God, it's not you, but it looks amazing.
Right.
Right?
Okay.
Okay, so post that in the group, okay? Because that way we can just review, validate ourselves on our side and be like, yeah, it's good to go. And just get it out there. Again, the faster we can just get it out there and get a fresh, like, lead flow coming in,
Yeah.
it just creates consistency in what comes in. Obviously,
Right.
for you, that the ad portion of things is something that is the priority, right? It really does need to get out. The second thing I would say is the follow-up. You said that you had, like they didn't say no, but it was a while back. So what's happened with that exactly?
Okay, so with this new client, we've just we've been focusing trying to get things lined up to make sure that we are able to bring the results that we said we want to do. We gave them a time frame. I said, at least within the 45 days they'll start seeing, but we know that we did that deliberately because we knew that we're still in the process of learning what to do
Yes.
to bring in their results. You understand? We know it's going to work. It's not a question of whether it's going to work, but it's like putting the steps in place. So we did send out an onboarding form to
Amazing.
them. to ask more detailed question. And, you know, then again, while I was going through it, I was like, okay, for us to create the ad effectively for him, you know, because one of the questions was like, who's your ideal audience? And we help him to identify, and we help to clarify. I help, you know, my son and I help to clarify the detail as who he wants to really work with. So then, you know, and getting more details as far as, okay, so what are you offering? What is your offer to these folks? Why should they choose you? You know, and that was, so I put together a questionnaire, another questionnaire, asking him about some more detailed questions as to what he has to offer for his client.
Yes.
And the different products, the programs, you know, the deal breakers, you know, so we can channel, when we put that ad together for him out there, the ones that are responding are the ones that he can actually help. Because you know, I don't want him to get trashy leads, you know, and the more vague it is, it's, to me, it's going to be too broad of a spectrum for him to have to go through, right? We want it to be more tailored and more custom.
Okay, so you're fulfilling for him, but what about the other two though? Sorry, I meant the other two.
The other two we have to follow up with Chad this week, because he had said the week of the 26th, which was, I think, this week, right? Last week, the week of the 26th. So I didn't follow up with him because I know it was end of month, and end of month is usually very busy for him. So I said I would do it this week, you know, to follow up with him, because he was also very interested, you know, and like I said, they didn't say no.
What was the reason they didn't buy? Why was it not? Did we get a deposit or not?
No, for him it was just time. We went a little bit overboard on the time, and he had to go to a meeting. In fact, but he was very interested to the point where he did stay, I think, an extra 10 or 15 minutes longer than he would have liked, you know, to listen to what we had to say. So, you know, he was definitely interested.
And he did request a follow-up. So, you know, as far as the meeting. Yeah. So, yeah.
That's good. Yeah. That's really, really good. If it was a time thing, again, it just for future, you know, that as much as we do say sales calls 45 minutes to 60 minutes, even within our own team, I think they give them an extra half an hour, right? Just because within your own schedule. But then again, I'm not saying it's going to be a general trend. I know that, for example, someone like Teresita, her client base are also overwhelmed business owners, right? So they're overwhelmed. They're really already crunch time in terms of that time. So she's had to accommodate things in terms of time with everything that she does. So I'm not saying this is a general thing that you have to deal with, but again, you know, just take it on, assess when these things happen. And if they happen often enough, then we can accommodate by, you know, fitting in something to, you know, whatever it is, a time thing that, you know, you need more time to explain things because you don't have testimonials, or it's just a case of refining that offer of yours, that pillar, so it's more simple, more concise, yet still effective in aligning the solution to the problem, where they understand, you know what, that makes sense. I don't have any further questions. Okay.
Right.
That was one of them. What about the other one?
And just to interject in terms of that, I think that was where we were kind of having problems with all three of them before we had the validation, is that we were still kind of unclear or not very grounded in explaining the offer, what they're going to get when they sign up, which was pretty much what the questions they were asking, like, okay, so what, you know, but we refined that. As a matter of fact, I should put that in the group so you could see, but I went through and I refined the pitch so it became very clear. So this is what you're going to get. And that's what we did with this one that we end up closing. When we refined it down, that's when we had closed them.
Yeah, amazing, cool. So you've done that in rapid timing, to be fair. So again, just when you can't go into these follow-up calls, it's always just listening to what they need, and you just like you not watched the pillar training that I gave. I can't remember if I told you to watch.
Yeah.
So that same phrase, it's very simple. This is your problem. The reason that's the problem because of this. We fixed that reason that the whole thing is messed up for you. This is our process of fixing that. Amazing, right? As long as you follow that, keep it simple, high chunk. It's always gonna it's always gonna be like super like golden. Right. So follow up also clean. That's there. Any questions apart from that?
You have questions? Because I have.
So the guy Chad that wanted to reschedule the week of the 26th, what he said towards the end of the call is he wanted to see what we had to offer, but he said that he didn't want to see it in concepts. He wanted to see it like with people who actually got results from our program. So which kind of boils back down to, you know, our testimonial and case study.
What did you answer in that time, like live with him? What did you answer?
We said, well, you know, why don't we set up, we'll go ahead and set up the follow-up call and we can get back with you with explaining in more detail. But that's when after we got off the phone, we refined you know, because, you know, listen, one of the things we told the other guy that we ended up closing was because it was similarly, right, with Louis. It was, so listen, we don't have any testimonials, we're brand new. However, this is what we'll do. Just, you know, as a client testimonial, we'll do this.
Amazing.
We'll,
Amazing.
you know, we'll normally it's 9,700, but we'll give you not give you, no, we said the right thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Amazing. Yeah. So no, you've done the right thing. You've handled that brilliantly. That's literally, as I say, when people are starting off and there are people that do genuinely ask for the testimonials, be authentic and honest.
Yeah.
You'll be the first ones running through this, okay? But you know, obviously you've worked in the industry for how many years, you're an expert in it. It's just doing this as a business concept is the new thing, right? It's not that it's nothing you haven't dealt with before. It's just starting this business is the new thing. So, you know, again, you are your own testimonial. Don't ever forget that, right? You are the testimonial. Because sometimes even when I started and I was doing anxiety, I'm like, I haven't done this before. All I can tell you is that I suffered anxiety. I got out of it. And I want to teach people how to do the same. Okay. For that reason, there is a discounted price, right? And that's, you know, that's all I've done. And then you just build it up. Because once you get testimonials, yes, then it's just like there's no longer this thing of like, has this worked before? Blah, blah, blah. It's just like, no, it's a proven process. It's amazing, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, totally fine. Brilliant. In terms of fulfillment, do you have any question on that? Because obviously I know you have to fulfill for this client, but is you got that handled?
Fulfillment, I'm working on that. So I want to run it through the group. You know, I think that's where we have to run it to kind of show you what we're planning to do. So one of the things, like I said, we send out the onboarding form so we can get clarification of what his expectations are. Then I send out another document to request as far as his offer, his avatar, what is he looking for from them, what is his expectation of them, and to get details on what would make an ideal client for him passing through his funnel that we're going to create. Right. So I said, you know, I'm waiting, he's going to fill that out. I spoke to him yesterday. He's going to send it to me. So once we do that, then we can kind of like start building out the ad. So the fulfillment part is building out the ad for him. And then to start running it, you know, testing it on the different platform, like, you know, the platform that we were working on. So yeah. So it's just getting his stuff to be able to accurately build out his form. I know Rashawn's concern was like, I don't know if it's still, but for it to be too tailored. But one of the things that when it comes to, for example, let me just rewind.
Just I'm kind of conscious of time that someone else should be coming at this time. So if you want to wrap up, like before I have to let you go.
Yes, no problem. So one of the things is, you know, as far as his client, he wants to work with, say, for example, entrepreneurs or business owners doing their mortgages, because they usually have more complicated mortgage, you know, getting a loan because self-employed and different things. So I basically asked him to, you know, what loan program do you have to offer? You know, what's the interest rate? What's the credit score they have to have? You know, the details as far as that. So once he gets that back to us, then I can make the ad,
amazing,
you know, according to that.
Cool. Yeah, everything's on the wraps then. Like, great job on the follow-up. Great job on, look, with fulfillment, you're doing the exact right thing, asking what they actually need, kind of thing, and just breaking it all down for you. The only thing I would say is let's just get those ads up and running as soon as we can, right? Because when those are up, it gets even more exciting. Because basically what I want for you is the next problem I want you to say to me is, Kev, there's too many clients. I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
That's where we want to be at, right? And it will come into the fulfillment portion of things. So with this first client, what I can say is use this first client to start recording some modules. I'm really talking about the technical aspects, so you don't have to repeat the technical aspects. So what I would suggest is when you are teaching him to do ads, do the ads live with him, like here on the Zoom, and make sure that the thing is recording, right? And then that becomes your module. So that next time, the next person you say, just do exactly as I done with this other client, right? Obviously, there will be some changes in terms of maybe once again the offerings that you were talking about in terms of what they specifically offer, right? But the tech side of things is going to be the exact same thing, right? So that would be my recommendation to make things easier for you. That way, you do it one time and you don't have to repeat teaching the same thing again and again and again. Okay.
So pretty much record the fact that, okay, you're gonna need to fill out the board, like an onboarding form and
To do the not the onboarding because that's simple enough. But when you start explaining how to do the ads, right? Record the ad, like have like the same way that we teach how to do an ad, right? Where we show you everything. You might have to do this live with him, okay? And then once you have that live session with the screen being shared, you use that for a future module where people just say, just go for it.
So we'll be teaching him how to do the ads, or we're doing the ads for him? Because my thought was like, we're going to do the ads.
Are you doing the ads for him?
Yeah.
Oh, in that case, no issues then.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. I thought you're doing fair enough. Okay. That's fine. That's perfect. Right. If you're doing the ads, ignore what I just said. Completely fine.
Okay.
Okay. Amazing. All right. Rashawn and Rima, thank you so much. And look, let's go crush it. It's very simple. Get the ads up and running. Okay. Post it into the group so we can review. And just include the copy, the creative, so the video.
Okay. Yes.
And that's it. We once we've reviewed it, let's get it live ASAP, and then you'll get more clients coming onto the phone with you. Cool.
Yes, 100%. This month we want to at least bring five in minimum.
Yes. Amazing.
At least.
At least let's do it. Let's do it.
Okay. Okay.
Amazing.
Thanks so much. Bye bye.
No problem. Bye. Bye. Can because I need to let the other person through. Can you?
Yeah, we're gonna.